Hello everyone, it's Laddosaurus. I hope you're doing well. Today we're on Laddo Learns to Rate again, but this time we're on GTA 5 and we've got a Brazen circuit. I've also got another guest who's decided to teach me how to race, and I appreciate you giving up your time, Scotty. Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. It's always fun to see how well I feel like I can race pretty well. Let's see if I can turn that into teaching you.
You're going to show us on your own how this is done.
You know what's happening, and I'll explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But I think you seeing exactly what's happening rather than just trying to take words on the words I'm saying into actions. You can just see what I'm doing.
That's a good point.
If you know.
Oh yeah. Right. I mean, I'm watching the clip now. Are you just coming up to the start line and that's when you're going to set a lap?
Yeah, that's a 1 minute 5 dead. I did. So, and it'll be the full lap.
Right.
I think
Because we're just coming. That was a 1 minute 6 that you did, and then obviously your last lap, where you've gone slightly wide, and then come back in tight. You stayed sort of right as you're going down the hill. You've gone very much on the very left of that as you've gone into there. So what you're doing is you're coming out and going back in during the whole corner. If that makes sense, that's what I'm looking at. So you're kind of bowing within the corner. So that's the fastest.
Well, with it being in the wet, there's obviously less grip, and parts of the track have even less grip. Which is sort of realistic. In real life, your normal racing line that you drive in the dry has less grip, and then off the racing line tends to have more grip with how the water interacts with the rubber led down on the racing line. In racing games, this generally isn't replicated, at least to any extent, really. So, in games, that's not something you have to worry about. But in GTA, with the way Brazen has specifically built this track, it uses a combination of your normal high grip surfaces and low grip surfaces being like striped across the track to create this interesting challenge. So where in real life you'd have the challenge of trying to find the grip, here you can just tell where the grip is going to be and where it isn't by looking at what prop you're driving on.
Right.
These normal sort of stunt tracks that you see on a lot of tracks, the black bits on these have your usual amount of grip, so you'll be able to drive on these usually quite fine. But once you've come over to the curbs and onto the edges, and then onto these are raised stunt tracks, Brazen's used here specifically, they don't have as much grip. It's not noticeable in dry because you have enough grip as it is, but in the wet it really becomes a challenge with the lack of grip. So he's covered about half the circuit in them places, including this hairpin, which is quite a nightmare to get around with the lack of grip.
It is quite nasty.
We've also got we've got bus stop chicane down here too, to challenge everyone. So that's a good place to learn car control.
Straight around.
Did you spin?
Yeah, straight away. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel like my settings are my settings are different than everyone else's. Like, so basically, you're saying try and sort of just keep it as straight as you can. That's what I need to focus on. There are missiles in the middle of the track. And so this is the slippery bit.
Here.
This is the slippery bit. So you're gonna blow yourself up.
Chris Brazen beam. No, it's fine.
Did you?
The debris has been cleared.
Oh, nice. There you are. I was just wondering where you were then. I'm just camouflaging myself on the blue. Right.
Yeah, there's actually a hole in the inside of that corner there.
Oh, don't say. Oh, great. Oh, great. Right.
One of the reasons why it's towards the back.
Right. So just try and. I know it sounds quite remedial, but sort of basically try not to sort of curb boost is what you're saying on these sort of corners, because you'll slide off of it. or
You can get away with a bit of curb boosting, but you do want to be careful with it. You don't want to go too overboard with it.
Mm.
But there's certainly you only do it if it's on a straight or if it's sort of nicely on the racing line.
Yeah.
For example, this hairpin, you can sort of come out wide, try and get a bit curb boost here.
Yeah.
But you don't be focusing on it too much.
I'm gonna die. Oh.
Oh, you knocked on off.
I think I'm just. Am I just going too fast into these corners, thinking it's dry? Is that what it is?
When you're certainly better building up to the limit than, pushing too hard at first. A common mistake for learners is to overdrive the car, which is pushing too hard, pushing over, expecting more grip than there is. Because once you go over the sort of grip you have, it's a lot harder to then regain traction. And so that's you lose a lot more time pushing a little bit too much than not pushing quite to the limit.
Right. Okay. So, like, braking too early is definitely better than braking too late.
You'll hear the phrase slowing fast out. Reason being, if you carry a lot of speed into a corner but not a lot out, then you don't carry speed down the next straight. Whereas, of course, if you carry a lot of speed out of the corner, yes, you might have been slower in the corner, but you'll gain all the time back on the next straight.
Right.
And if it's a particularly long straight,
that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah. One thing I think we should talk about is sort of braking points on this track. I find turn 1 you want to be braking about the start-finish.
That early? Right, okay.
Yeah, especially if you get the boost pad on the left-hand side wall coming up. Here you don't want to brake, you want to lift off, turn in before you get to the low grip surface and try and straight line the corner when you're on the low grip part. Of course you have limited turning on it, and you want to do the same as you come across this start finish here. Try and keep the car straight, just straight line the corners as much as possible.
You say that just as I was literally sideways.
Yeah, a good braking point's just before the barrier on the left hand side ends there. You want to get to the right hand side curb there, straight line through that left hander part, and then get the car, try and get all the turning done before you end up on the low grip surface, and keep a tight line to cover the minimal distance.
Right.
On the low grip part, it's sort of same thing with the bus stop. Use all the track on the exit too.
Okay.
And can get on the boost pad, and hope if you've done it right, you'll have the car straightened up by then. Clip that boost pad, you're into another lap braking at the start finish.
I'm all over the place. Right. So, okay. I mean, I didn't really know the differences between surfaces, so I mean that does make a massive difference. Right. So you say lift off for this, get my steering done before I get onto the low grip surface. Right.
That looked much better this time.
It did, yeah, it felt better. I mean, the exit of the corner wasn't as good, but, I mean, I'm on the right-hand side, which means that I can be straighter here. That felt better.
Yeah.
That felt
your
better.
lines are certainly much better. Because you're going straight across the grip surface there, you can certainly, hold the throttle on maybe for it all.
Yep. Oh, I've knocked my back wheel then.
What you want to do on this low grip surface here is keep about half throttle, and then once you get onto the full grip, get back to full throttle for the hairpin there.
Ah! Don't be I know. I already knew don't be taking boost pads at like different weird angles. Right.
Oops, sorry.
That's all right.
I'll try not to get in your way.
No, you weren't in my way at all. But see, this is already feeling miles like more in control. So I'll come off the power, get myself nice and maybe I didn't come off the power early enough.
Yeah. If you certainly overdo the corner because you have no grip, it's unsavable pretty much.
Yeah, you're in the you're in the ditch.
Yeah.
I mean, that coming out of there feels a lot better. Right, do I want to be cutting across sort of a diagonal sort of like this?
Yeah, for here certainly, because you get onto that low grip surface there.
Yep.
And you don't have a low grip in the first place since you're going over the crest. You know, the car's going light. So you certainly want to turn in a bit earlier to get over to the inside curb.
Oh no. Oh! I think. Yeah, and I've gone down. So what's your best lap around here? 105?
104.5.
104.5, beg your pardon. So I've got to try and get as near as damn it. If I'm being optimistic, I've got to try and beat it, but I've got to try and get as near as damn it to it.
I'll be honest, since I did that time on my own, I don't think I had the catch-up effect, which you'll be having at the moment.
Oh.
Since there's two of us and I left it on.
Oh, right. Oh, I see.
Yeah, from the race we filmed, the best time in that race was a 107.4. So if you're sort of around the 108s, I'd say that'd be pretty good.
So 108 is like what I'm aiming for, really. Right,
I would say so.
Because we're going to redo this race after we've done the training. 3 laps, you and me actually racing each other, but we're in different cars.
We're going to be in a muscle car.
Oh, I think it was the Dominator, wasn't it? Oh.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Could be wrong. But that felt a bit better. I mean, obviously there was slide coming out, but it definitely was better than what I did do. What lap are we on? I see you. I see you there.
Yeah, coming on to the final lap.
All right. Ah!
Oh. Sorry.
It's all right. Because you've got to try and overtake me now, and I've got to use what you've told me to. I mean, the thing is that you know what line I'm taking because it's the line you've told me. So I mean, if you do get past me, that's just what I'm going to chalk it down to. I mean, that wasn't me. Right, so. I mean, I can
and either you want to
try and
a little bit of curb that sticks out there to get a small bit of curb boost. Also, be careful of slipstream. Now that you're behind me.
I mean, I'm definitely learning this track a little. Like, if it was like the other day when we were actually on, like the actual filming session for it, then I felt like I might have kept up. You are gone though. You are absolutely gone. Come on, 108. Come on. What? No. There's 108. Gone. 112. Oh. Well, you know. not the. Let's see. Well, let's see what our best lap is. You know, there might be a lap that was faster than that. I mean, let's see.
I did sort of ruin the start of that lap for you.
Hey, you alright? Don't worry about it. It's another win to your tally. But my best lap... Oh, right, okay. My best lap was 1:12.1.
If you are on throttle, which you usually are for the second part, since you're not carrying the... since you're not carrying too much speed from the hairpin, you know, you're generally on par for that bit.
Right, okay. You ready?
Yeah. I also turned slipstream off because I didn't want you messing up a braking zone from being in the slipstream. But catch up is still
that makes
on
sense.
for you.
No, I agree. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I mean, I'm still there. There is definitely more grip in this car than there is. Definitely more grip in this one than there is in the Futo. You can just feel it a little bit better. It just feels a little bit more grounded.
I haven't done as much. I haven't done any practice since we filmed in this car. I only did that in the photo, so I'm not too versed on this. As you can tell, I'm a little bit wide.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is the first time ever in a Laddo Learns to Race where we're actually racing each other, and I've overtaken. So, I mean, we can go... Ow, right, okay, yeah. You can call it a technicality if you want. But this is turning out to be really good. Oh, I'm going wide. You see, the thing I've noticed is that I am forcing, because I'm right by you. I am forcing you off of the good line.
Yeah, the ideal line.
Yeah. Oh, don't. Because as soon as you start to slide in these, I've noticed on GTA, as soon as you start to slide, your momentum's gone.
Yeah. That's pretty much the case in most things. You want to avoid sliding as much as possible. You can get away with it more on dirt and whatnot.
Yeah.
And in the rain on the low grip surfaces, but you still want to try and avoid it.
Yeah. Like with Wreckfest, you know, you can get away with it like in games like that. Oh, sorry, you still on about GTA?
Sort of in general, GTA, while it is sort of dumbed down a little bit to be a little more arcadey, it's still decently realistic, to be fair to it.
Yeah, it's a really good racing game.
Yeah, tires have the most grip when they're going, you know, rotating the way they're meant to be and not sliding across the track, because then technically you've, you know, broke traction and the rubber isn't sticking into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's why you get away with sliding more in your grip surfaces, because there wasn't as much grip to begin with.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm actually really trying to concentrate, because I haven't completely messed this up yet, which would be a complete win for me. Oh, and I've taken that corner really wide.
Going a little too deep.
Yeah, just a little bit too fast on there. You know, I mean, fortunately, for once, I'm actually listening to what someone's told me. Like, when I was with Danger Man and Longbow and Car Guy, they would teach me through the sort of 10 laps on Forza, and I'd forget it once the pressure's on. But it just doesn't feel, because it's not really like, this is a bit of a fun track, you know, it's just a laugh, and it doesn't feel like there's much pressure on with this one.
Mm. And GTA is quite a different game from Forza. On Forza, you're obviously racing on controller, which is a bit harder to be consistent with. Whereas GTA sort of is, as I said earlier, it's dumbed down a little bit. You don't have to worry at all about gears.
No.
Cars generally aren't too bad on traction. You can generally just put your finger down. In these conditions, you do have to worry about it a little bit more, but it's still not as bad as it would be on, you know, realistic games.
Yeah.
And braking too, you can't really lock up on GTA like you do on Forza.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you know, so everything's a bit more massively detailed in. Oh, you finished.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna blow up. Oh. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like I did. I was actually pleased with my performance on that one. I really was. I don't even know. I don't know what my time. I'm more looking at my time. I know that the gauntlet's going to be faster than the Futo.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. That's but it's relative to yours. So I'm only. I'm only 0.9 of a second behind you.
9/10 off.
Yeah, per lap.
Yeah,
which, that's I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. No.
Yes, as you should be.
That makes happy. So, you want to replay it? But
I'm just selecting that.
But no, Scotty, thank you very much for today and what you've taught me. I really appreciate it. I will take that into account. And hopefully this means I might be into a bit more contention when it comes to GTA races on like the fail race videos. But yeah.
Well, there's still more to learn. This is sort of a bit of a unique scenario. It's very rare that we'll race tracks like this, but there's certainly skills you can transfer.
Oh, definitely.
To racing in general.
No, Scotty, thank you very much. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.